I am holding in my hand a customer service handbook, and it's a great customer service handbook. It is full of do's and don'ts, ideas and suggestions. It's full of things we should do and shouldn't do when we're having an interaction with a customer or a client or even a prospect. And there's nothing intrinsically wrong with having a great customer service handbook. In fact, it's a great thing to have. The problem is customer service handbooks don't teach us how to be a better customer service representative or sales associate. They just tell us what we should and shouldn't do. They're a list of rules. Here's what we're gonna do. Instead of the list of rules, we're gonna break down every customer service interaction or sales associate interaction into just 3 simple steps that any customer service rep can repeat over and over and over to deliver a great experience. And we're gonna do it from right here in Louisville, Kentucky, the home of the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, the Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs, and there's bourbon over there. Now remember, there's a giant difference between customer service and a great customer experience. If you've forgotten what that was or you didn't see the video, you can watch this video right here where I break down the difference between customer service and customer experience. And I do it by trying to buy a garage door. It's a lot of fun, and to sum it up, it's all about boom, 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 the emojis. So look, our goal is to create a great customer experience with every customer service interaction we create. And the truth is, you only need to know 3 things to be a great customer service rep or sales associate. Every interaction can be broken down into 3 little steps. Step number 1, you've got to immediately answer the trigger question. The trigger question is the first question that pops into your mind the instant you go on a journey you never expected. Imagine you rent equipment, like this or like that. And you're on the customer service team for the rentals department, and you get a phone call where somebody wants to know one simple question. How much does it cost to rent one of these for the day? Now, a lot of customer service handbooks will tell you that you need to get their name and their phone number and their email address before you give them a quote. This is terrible advice because it's a bad experience. Instead, a great customer service experience immediately answers the trigger question. Step number 1. So, as a great customer service rep, you would immediately answer the question with $500 or whatever they really cost. I don't really know what one of those costs. You see, a great customer experience is all about taking doubters and turning them into believers. And it takes lots of little interactions to earn their trust. That one little interaction will earn you trust. They immediately know that if they ask a question, you'll give them the answer. So the first thing you must do on every customer service interaction is answer the trigger question. The second thing you need to do is remove friction. Removing friction can quite simply be just anything that gets in the way of creating a great experience that gets them to the next moment of commitment. For example, if you actually want to get them to sign a rental agreement by the end of this phone call, that's your moment of commitment that your goal is set for. In the meantime, we're going to get them to make some little commitments. So we're going to remove lots of friction. Instead of asking for their name and their last name and their email address and their phone number right off the bat, we can do something very simple. Just ask one question. Maybe we ask their name, but we do it by scaling camaraderie. And that's the third thing. Scaling camaraderie is all about building a team. In fact, it's about taking your brand and personalizing it for the person you're on the phone for. So you might say something like, "Hey, my name's Andrew, and I'm going to be here to help you all the way through the rental process, and I'll even be here the day that you pick up your equipment. But what's your name?" You see, scaling camaraderie is about giving up some information, some personal information about you, so that they feel more comfortable and trust you more, so that they'll give you their name. And as soon as they've given you their name, they've actually taken the first step in their moment of commitment. They've actually given you some information to get some information. They've traded some data. Yeah, it's that easy. 3 great things that create a great customer service experience. Next, you'd want to go back to the beginning. You'd actually want to answer their next trigger question. For example, their next question might be, "Hey, Andrew, I was actually wondering if that thing, this, is available on June 25th for a full day rental." And you're gonna remove some friction. You're gonna say, "Hold on one second while I just pull that up for you on my computer." And as you're pulling that up on your computer to see if it's available, you move on to the next step. You scale your camaraderie by giving up a little bit more information about you and the brand to build the next level of trust in which you can get the next piece of information. That might sound something like this. Hey, Andrew, while I pull this up, I just wanted to tell you that we are not open on Saturdays and Sundays, but you could pick it up on the 24th. And we'd be sure to have it here ready for you. As I pull this up, I'm going to be able to send you a quote at the end of this phone call. Would you mind just giving me your email address while I wait for the computer to load so that I know where to send it? And there you have it. You've got them to the moment of commitment, the next one. You see, scaling camaraderie is about giving them some insight into the process that you're undergoing. It's about showing them that you're doing work while you're talking to them and actually walking them through the steps. And in order to create a great customer service interaction, you do this over and over and over until you've taken them from a doubter to a believer, to the time they've committed to rent that piece of equipment or buy that product or buy your service or schedule the next appointment or take a meeting or whatever it is your goal is on that phone call. There are lots of best practices that teach you how to be a great customer service representative or sales associate. But the truth is, we could do a much better job of teaching them the little step process that they repeat over and over to create a great experience that leaves a great impression. And we need to do a better job of helping them understand what the goal of their job is. It's to take doubters and turn them into believers on the phone or in person with them. So I hope this has helped. All you have to do is those simple 3 things: answer a trigger question, remove some friction, and scale camaraderie. And get them from moment of commitment to a new moment of inspiration over and over. Remember the Slinky effect? Ha ha ha! That's just loyalty loop after loyalty loop. In one conversation, you're taking someone from doubter at the top to believer at the bottom when they hang up and they've signed on the dotted line to buy your product or service. I'm gonna go and get some bourbon in Louisville. I'm heading home tomorrow and then Saratoga Springs this weekend, so I'm really excited about it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Loyalty Loop. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss next week's episode of The Loyalty Loop. And I hope to see you in my Loyalty Loop. All right, have a good night.